Hello everyone, and welcome to Galaxy 89 Cars. Thanks to Supervettura, today I'm bringing you an in-depth tour of a Spyker C8 Laviolette here in burnt almond orange. First founded in 1880 by Dutch brothers Hendrik Jan and Jacobus Spyker, the company initially maintained horse carriages, but later began to craft their own Benz engine motor cars, and in 1901 delivered a solid gold horse carriage to Queen Wilhelmina. The company ceased trading in 1925 after a short time constructing aircraft. It was reformed in 2000 with a C8 Spider, and shortly after the newly formed company took their cars racing. The C8 Laviolette concept was first unveiled at the Amsterdam Motor Show in 2001 and embodies the eccentric and individual style with aeronautical inspiration Spyker is known for. It is based on a lightweight aluminium space frame with aluminium panels, so comes in with a curb weight of just 1275 kilograms. And despite its full glass roof, the C8 is known for being very rigid. The Laviolette is structurally based on a roadster, so the fixed roof only results in increased rigidity. Its power is provided by a rear mid-mounted Audi 4.2 litre naturally aspirated V8, which produces 400 brake horsepower. Its real-world 0 to 62 mph or 100 km/h time is around 4.2 seconds, with a top speed of 186 mph. The chromed exhaust at the rear features a whisper mode for reduced noise, and has the Latin company logo inscribed on the bottom, Nulla tenaci in via est via, or for the tenacious, no road is impassable. Unfortunately, the road of getting an exhaust sound clip was impassable for me. The C8 has 19-inch front and rear Aeroblade wheels with AP Racing performance brakes, provided by Lotus. The front and rear suspension is made from stainless steel and is fully adjustable, but apparently quite hard. At the front, the gaping grille slopes down on either side and is reminiscent of an aquatic creature. Below is a smaller grille and chromed splitter. Above is the logo that amalgamates road and air, the two dominant crafts Spyker is known for. These grilles send cool air into the radiators and cooling fans that can be seen when looking down on the sloping bonnet. The headlights here are integrated into the front of the car with a glass cover that continues the smooth lines of the bonnet. There are also small fog lights below to either side in chromed cylinders. Behind these are grilles, with more atop of the wheel arches. The thick, single-piece wing mirrors feature side indicators below and provide another important function that I will go into later. Reminiscent of cars of days gone by, only a portion of the C8's electric windows can be wound down. Above and bordered by chrome surrounds, the full glass panoramic roof is tinted. It's intersected by a chromed air intake that feeds cool air into the engine. Running along the side are two further chromed intakes in the same style as the roof scoop, except the one on top houses the car's ornamental fuel filler cap that also features the car's company motto. Further along the rear wheel arch are more grilles that adds an element of symmetry between the front and back. However, the rear brings a wider, more hunkered down stance. There isn't much of an official splitter at the rear, but plenty more chromed components, including the guard. Going back to the wing mirrors, as I said I would. You may have noticed the doors don't have opening mechanisms. That's because the scissor doors are opened by depressing a small button at the base of the mirrors and using them to pull up. These scissor doors rise up at a single aluminium hinge and create an unexpected but pleasant aesthetic when raised. This was my first time with the Spyker, and I have to say I really like the interior, despite the wheel being one of the more unimpressive variants. I feel this could potentially be quite a Marmite car. People could easily love or hate it. The car is fitted with a black hide quilted leather interior with orange diamond contrast stitching and a turned aluminium dash with white dials. Despite being quite low and having a relatively wide sill, the C8, for me at least, isn't actually that hard to get in and out of. When inside, the doors felt a little stiff to retract. But before going into more detail, I'll first take you on a POV tour of the interior. Beginning our interior in-depth tour, the doors are lined in quilted leather outlined by an upholstered segment at the top and bottom. At the bottom is the armrest with the chrome handle, the electric exterior mirror controls and a speaker. The door release sits centrally with window controls above. Basically all of the cabin is upholstered in the same quilted leather with contrast stitching, apart from the footwell carpets. The aluminium pedals, which were probably milled from a single sheet of aluminium, stand upright and without a footplate. Now in the driver's seat, looking down to the right, we see the front bonnet release catch. The front clamshell is quite hard to pop up, but when up, the front suspension is exposed, in addition to various fluid pots, fans and radiators. This model unfortunately doesn't have the beautifully crafted ornamental wheel, but instead a leather wheel that also looks like it came from Audi. Above the dash are two small tweeter-type speakers. The aluminium dash itself has an aluminium fascia and is bookended by propeller emblazoned air vents. The dials start from right to left with a clock, small battery dial, speedo, rev counter and the ignition switch. Any switch with a liftable red cover adds drama to the driving experience, and continues the aeronautical theme. The more central array of dials are for water and oil temperature, oil pressure and fuel level, which being so far from the driver's central cluster could prove risky if the joy of driving holds their attention. Below are small lights and switches, for the general check engine light, EPC, fuel, seatbelt check, exterior lights, hazards, beams, wipers and spray. These switches produce an extremely satisfying click both physically and audibly. At the top of the central column are more lights for oil, water, ABS and parking. Below are the air conditioning and ventilation switches with circular displays. Jutting out under is the exposed transmission arm for the C8's Audi 6-speed manual transmission. The quilted leather, aluminium and this gear linkage are the elements that make this interior. It compromises storage along the central column, but in my opinion it's a really nice aesthetic touch. The only remaining space on the dash is in front of the passenger, so Spyker have decided that this is where they will put 75% of their vents. Does it work? I'll leave that to you. The black leather quilted seats are undeniably comfortable, but also feel like they may have come from Audi. Behind them are small storage areas that can be accessed by utilising the small lever on the side. The passengers also has netting. Between the seats is a small port window that looks directly into the car's engine bay. Visibility is limited, but not useless. The C8's storage capacity is limited, however. The passenger side glove compartment pulls out in a peculiar way, and the small rear boot can be accessed by pulling on a handle located on the driver's side. The glass roof helps create a light and airy interior in partnership with the bright aluminium. However, it looked like there weren't any sun visors, which could be troublesome. A quick look into the passenger's footwell, and that concludes my tour of the Spyker C8 Laviolette. At the time of publishing, this car is currently for sale with Supervettura, so please find their contact details in the description of the video. Please subscribe for the latest content, and until next time, cheers!